Hello there, it's John Anthony Francis Wilcox. Today is Saturday, July the 30th, 2022. Before I go any further and mangle the English language further, who knows? Happy birthday to Kate Bush, 64 years old. Hooray! Love you, Kate Bush. Wonderful. So, um, we're going to start with show and tell continuing from last week. So, as I mentioned last week, my great niece Isabella was going to the Pequot Library book sale to grab me some stuff. Hopefully, some of the cheesy mystery novels that I was asking about. Unfortunately, I gave her a list and she scoured the place. They just didn't have any of those, but they had other stuff. So, one thing, boy, I love this. And by the way, she got me like over a dozen books, so I'm only going to show you four. Just because it's not inventory of John. It's just a few things. So this book, the Eastern Junior League Cookbook, this is a cool thing of just great old recipes. I mean, relatively old. This is a 40-year-old book from 82. That's why it's 40 years old. And I was looking through it, a lot of interesting stuff. I love these more locally based, this is spiral bound, and all the recipes come from like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, a lot of Connecticut in here, surrounding states, a little bit of Massachusetts and such. Um, Good stuff. Great find. This, looking forward to, don't know what it is. It's sort of like a pulpy adventure thing. That's what it seems to be. Judson and Gardner. Uh, don't know. I'll find it out. Looking forward to it. Um, Here's a great. One of the things I told her is plays preferably with the Samuel French imprint. I love these little. You know, I think I told you about the Columbo one recently. Here's Middle of the Night, which is a Paddy Chayefsky comedy. Chayefsky from Marty. And this from the mid '50s. Great play. Looking forward to it. And the four poster by Jan de Hartog. Interesting. It's a two-person play. It all takes place over like a 20-year period in one bedroom of a couple. From it starts with the husband carrying the wife over the threshold, and then they're going to be leaving there, and their daughter's getting married by the end of the play. Originally with Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin. Quite a find. Looking this up on Amazon, and to get this edition of the play, it's like 45 bucks. And this one says, I must tip up my glasses here, this play has been withdrawn from amateur production due to the forthcoming musical version. And I can't think of what it was. Was this what got made as I Do, I Do? Possibly. Don't recall. I'll have to look further into that. So there's my little show and tell. Thank you, Isabella. um, Following on the thread of the last two, I love the theater. And many of you know that I worked for 15 years at the Westport Community Theater from 2004 till I had to stop in 2019 when I almost fell down the steps a few times and my knees and my legs were just, it was a signal that it was time to stop. So I miss it. I miss my theater family. If any of you see this, you know I love you. I love the theater. I've been thinking back about my different connections, you know, from then and before. I remember vividly, I forget what year, he'd know, maybe, I'm going to say 2001, 2002, maybe even 2003. Um, my nephew Ryan was part of the Staples Players, and they were doing a version of Godspell, which is maybe my favorite play of all time. And he had a pair of overalls that he wanted me to paint, kind of make them look psychedelic. So, painting hearts and designs in all different colors on the overalls for him. I really enjoyed doing that. That was fun. Um, he was, I think he was is it Jeffrey Milet? Was that his name? Um, Role that was in like the off Broadway version. Um, what's the song? We beseech thee. That was his big song. And I remember I saw, it was the Staples Players. So it was young kids doing it, which is interesting for Godspell because ideally, Godspell is like people in their 20s, 30s. But it worked. Ryan was really good in it. The cast was fun. Very proud of him for doing a good job in that, and I was happy to paint the stuff up. So that was cool. Um, and lots and lots of theater memories. When I worked at the Westport Community Theater, I ushered a ton. They asked me to direct. I never directed. I just didn't. I just didn't feel that was the space for me at that time. Did a lot of prop work, painted a lot of sets, helped build things. Property master on one play, um, sitting behind the stage and handing off props, during another. That was a lot of fun. Great learning experience. The theater is such a living art form. You can see a play, I would see some plays over and over and over, and every performance is totally different. There's a different energy. Um, it just is. You can see the actors honing in as the play goes along. Usually, as plays go along, they get faster as they are used to running through that stuff. I'm sorry, I don't mean to ramble about the theater. I love the theater. So today, by the way, during the week I had made another thing with sausage and vegetables, and it was great. And I had some left over. So today, what I had left over, I put in a casserole, and I cut up some cheddar cheese, and I put some milk and cream of celery soup, mixed that all up, and put some Parmesan and some breadcrumbs, and did that in an oven, in the oven for about an hour and a half. Let it get bubbly and marry each other and get all good, gooderoso. So I had some of that a little while ago. It was just brilliant. So that was some good stuff. Um, I've done a whole ton of art this week and some stuff on my site. I've just been a machine with the art. It's been flowing, so I keep going with it. So I I'm feeling the need to get out, but I don't know when that will be happening. I mean, not just sitting out in my front yard. I can do that most any day. Um, I mean, going out. Going out in a car. I think that since I've got back in November, I've either been out 4 times or 5 times in that entire time, and that's it. No more than that. So it is how it is. You flow with what's in front of you. I suppose that's what I would say. Um, I'm trying to think of what else I need to mention here. I've been texting with my niece Tracy, who's going through some more kidney stone problems. I feel real bad. Trace is a good kid, you know, and I hate to think. I know, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I've had over 100 kidney stones since 1989. But luckily, mine are from uric acid, so I take a pill called allopurinol, and it really lowers how many kidney stones I have. But there was a time where I was just a pain factory from those, and I think the biggest one was about that big, and it looked like a shark tooth. Uh, oh, that hurt. So, but hers aren't uric acid, so she's got to deal with this evidently for the rest of her days. I hope she finds relief. So, but I guess at this point I'm rambling again. So happy birthday, Kate Bush, again. Listen to the 6-song video I put up yesterday, unless you don't like Kate Bush, in which case don't do that. but still wish her a happy birthday nonetheless. We love creative people, don't we? I love you all. You take care. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.